Aquarius, what if your career could actually fulfill your soul's mission instead of draining it? In this reading, we are going to be uncovering your core strength, your deepest motivator, and the impact that you are here to make so you can align your work, your money, and your wealth with your true purpose. Aquarius, I'm Heather. This is Dogstar Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the pack. Today's reading is all about purpose, specifically how your career, money, and long-term wealth are connected to your soul's mission. This is a reading for those of you who know you are meant for more meaning, more alignment, and more fulfillment in the work that you do and the abundance that you create. We're going to be working with 9 cards in this reading, and I encourage you to stay to the very end because you will be invited to write your own purpose statement using the messages that come through with the first 3 cards, your core strength, your motivating value, and your ideal impact. This is about aligning your ambition with your intuition and stepping into purpose-driven success. So take a breath, set an intention, and let's see what the cards reveal. Aquarius, one more shuffle here, and then we will get going on pulling the cards. Okay, so this first card here is your core strength, and you've got the Ten of Swords. That's going to seem a little funky and out of place, but I will explain it as we get going. And then your motivating value, you have the Eight of Swords. Huh. And then your ideal impact is the Ace of Cups. And Aquarius, your current role, you have the Six of Wands. In your purpose, your purpose pulse. I had to think about which card that was. That is, where is your energy feel most alive and aligned right now? And then we have your growth edge, which is the devil, and your support system is the King of Cups. Your next action is the Seven of Cups. And finally, your legacy vision is the Six of Cups. I am going to pull a clarifier on the next action. See if we can get it kind of, okay. Okay. Okay, so Aquarius, your core strength, you have the Ten of Swords, not a positive card, but in this reading, this is a different type of reading. So what this tells me as your core strength, so this is the skill, the trait, the gift that you consistently bring to your work or service here. And you have the Ten of Swords. So this is the gift that you bring. And the 10 is an 10 energy, 10s in general represent a completion of an energy cycle. You start at 1, you end at 10. And so this is telling me that your gift, your talent is for endings. And I feel like the endings is swords is related to communication, mental energy, thoughts, ideas. Think of to-do lists that have structure, that kind of thing. And I feel like, so what this is your gift and skill and trait is to create endings to structures and processes and things that are policies, whatever that could be. That's that written word or that way of communicating, bringing an end to those structures. So you have this natural talent and ability to see where things are outdated and need revision, and you sever and create, you end them to create new ways of doing things that are more improved, right? There's that kind of like, let's break it down and start over kind of energy here, but it's in the area of communication and mental things that are written down. So processes, ways of doing things, ways of sharing information and knowledge. So it's in that area and in that field. And then when we move into the next card, this is your motivating value. So this is what principle or value drives you to show up. And you have the Eight of Swords, which typically is seen as another negative card where we are trapped and restricted and stuck and feel imprisoned by our own thoughts, our communication, our minds are spinning, right? So again, like these two cards are kind of linked. So what I see as your motivating value is like the opposite of being restricted and stuck and get information flowing. So it's like you're seeing ways of doing things, improving communication, improving knowledge, improving the sharing of knowledge, improving policies, whatever it is, and and then sharing that and getting that out there, keeping it from being stuck so it gets out to the masses. This could even be stuff that's related to the internet and internet communication as well for some of you. Now, your ideal impact here, and it could even also be out of the box. Sorry, I'm stepping back a little bit because of this energy and what it, and because of it being the Ten of Swords and the Eight of Swords, this could also be like that outside of the box thinking too, right? Is that you are like breaking down the old way of doing things, the traditional way of thinking for something that's completely brand new and like out of this world. So, okay, now we're going to move on. So the next card here is your ideal impact. So this is what kind of change or result do you feel called to create in the world? And you have the Ace of Cups. So this is it is creativity, it is intuition, it is emotions with the cups. So these are brand new opportunities. Your ideal impact is again new ways of doing and being that connect people together. And that is through the mind, through communication, through learning, and that kind of thing. But it's that connection with other people and new opportunities for that. And so, yeah, like anything that's related to internet would be fantastic, or anything that's related to digital communication. Even, I mean, I would even go as far as investigation, anything that is research and investigation that you can get out there, especially if it's a bit radical and outside of the norm, and using that for to help people. I feel like this is a message for a few of you here because I feel like that is about providing closure for people. I'm just that one just came to me. So if it's for you, you will know that it's for you. If you're called to do any kind of research or investigation work that helps people emotionally heal, gives them that opportunity with closure here. Okay, so moving on from that, your current role. So this is how you've got the Six of Wands here. This is how your current role, your current job, project, or study path reflects or misaligns with your sense of purpose. So for those of you who feel like you are on your path and you are living your purpose to some degree anyway, with the Six of Wands being here, this is about you getting recognition, okay, for what it is that you're doing. You're being recognized for your efforts. So you're not doing things behind the scenes, right, where it's unseen and hidden. No, you are front facing. For those of you who don't feel aligned with what you're doing, you need to be front facing. You need to be getting recognition for what it is, the efforts that you do in the job that you're doing, but you also need it to be out there. And, you know, again, I still really feel like there's this bringing things from the shadow out to the masses and to the public. Some of you, this could be reporting. This could be based on being like a reporter or news or like just sharing information in some kind of way. Okay, and now the next one here we have, this is your purpose pulse. So this is where your energy feels most alive and aligned right now. And that is when you're working hard. When you're working hard and passionate about what you're doing. When it's something that you're enjoying, you are just on fire here, and that's when you feel alive and aligned. And then when we move into your growth edge, you have the devil here. So this is the skill, mindset, or habit that will help you grow to your next level or purpose. Now, the devil is usually seen as it can be materialism and it can be habits, bad habits that restrain us and hold us back from actually fully living our purpose. Now, with this as your growth edge, this is about recognizing and seeing the things that hold you back. So where do you procrastinate? Where do you maybe, is there negative self-talk going on in your mind that's keeping you from taking chances or taking risks? And so it's those kinds of habits that you could be looking at and tweaking, and that's what you need to change in order to get to your next level of purpose. The other thing too is where if you are too focused on chasing the dollar, that's another mindset to change, and maybe change or just slightly modify how you put yourself out there by how can I serve and help others. And that will really help to bring that abundance and attract abundance into your life. And now when we get into your support system, you have the King of Cups. So you do have someone who's very knowledgeable around you, has kind of like been there, done that, but is very empathetic and very compassionate around you, an older adult male or male energy. It doesn't have to necessarily be a male, but this is a person, an individual that's around you that gives you very good sage advice, but it comes from the heart, it comes from the intuition, and it has a little bit of an emotional edge to it, and about trying to teach you to follow your heart, follow that inner voice and that calling versus that logic and reason all the time. Okay. And then when we get into the next action, so this is what practical step you can take this month to live your purpose more fully. And you've got the the Seven of Cups. And this is about having multiple options and choices in front of you. And that is why I pulled a clarifier for that one, because I wanted to see if I could kind of narrow it down a little bit more, because lots of options and choices doesn't really help you with your next action. And you have the Four of Swords. So this is taking some quiet time this month. Make sure that you take some quiet time this month, possibly even journal a little bit. And what you're looking at and what you're reflecting on is what are the things that I do that make me feel good and make me feel alive? And write those down, because that is going to help you to make your decision and choice on your next action, because I feel like there's many different options that you can do, like things that you can do in order to live your purpose more fully. And so one of those things is narrowing it down by linking it to what makes you feel good. Okay. And trusting that intuition as well. And that's where that King of Cups advice is going to be good for you. Your legacy vision, so the long-term contribution or career path that feels most aligned with your soul's mission or purpose is the past. You got the Six of Cups here. This is a card of the past, of nostalgia. And so I feel like, again, for many of you, I almost feel like some of you might be working on like cold cases, or bringing information from the past. And that's going to even be, back to modifying ways of doing things and communicating. This could be taking old structures and pulling them up to future modern times, right? And doing something with that, with this whole past energy. And that's the long-term contribution, but it's linking your long-term goals and contribution is about linking to the past. So, and I feel like it's really bringing that past into the future in some kind of a way. So please comment below. I would really like to hear what some of your thoughts are on that and that kind of an energy. So that is what I have for you, Aquarius. Aquarius, before you go, take a moment to reflect on the first three cards from this reading and write your purpose statement. So your core strength, your motivating value, and the impact that you are here to make. Let this be something you can return to when you are making career or money decisions. Purpose is not something that you chase, it is something that you align with. Thank you for being here, for running with the pack, and for trusting the process. I'm Heather. This is Dogstar Astrology and Tarot, and I will see you in the next reading.